So I'm delighted to be joined today by Jim Wharton, who's the Technical Solutions Manager for Heraeus Corporation here in the United States. So welcome, Jim. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So a few years ago, Heraeus acquired a company called Welco over in Europe, and that brought in a certain sort of capability with being able to separate balls and get a much more homogeneous ball system. Can you first of all explain a little bit about the Welco company and what that brought in?
Sure, give that a try. So Welco technology is currently proprietary to Heraeus, and it affords us the ability to make ultra small powder types with very low surface oxides, very uniform powder distribution, and very uniform sphericity. So it allows us to provide a solder paste with a much lower or more benign flux system, not necessarily requiring such an aggressive flux system to perform as normal SMT.
Right. And you use a fairly unique system for being able to separate out these balls using emulsification system as opposed to the
correct.
The waterfall system that a lot of other companies use. So this week you're bringing over a SAC 305 paste called AP520. Tell us a little bit about AP520.
AP520 is a next-gen water-soluble technology currently released in SAC 305 alloy as a Type 7 powder type. It's used in various applications requiring that type of powder type, but it can print down to apertures that are 50 micron, down to about an area ratio of about 0.55.
Right. Okay. And and it's used for sort of applications where you want to do things in a single pass.
Right. So some of the other claims to fame with the AP520 is that it cleans extremely well with straight DI water, no saponification, no chemical required. Very, very clean. That's even with multiple reflow passes, as we've tested. Right. And so it still cleans extremely well. The flux matrix does not splash spit. It's very flexible in a time versus temperature, time at temperature type of profile. Another advantage of the alloy in general is extremely low voiding. Anywhere from none to, if you're hitting 5%, that's on the high side.
Right.
In our tests, we've seen below that.
Right. So what is the reflow window for it? What sort of temperatures does it reflow at?
So a typical SAC profile, you're going to be in that 245 to 255 as a peak temperature. Time above liquidus can vary depending on the application, but you'll probably see a window of somewhere between 75 and 90 seconds typical. Right. It'll work in a nice ramp soak style profile, a linear style profile, or a hybrid. We can help, our applications team can help determine what best profile would be.
Okay, excellent. Okay. And the flux medium that goes with it, as you said, is pretty benign. It doesn't need to be quite so aggressive.
From a benign standpoint, it's the Welco powder offers a very low surface oxide, so very little of the activity of a flux is needed to clean those spheres. So generally the flux will clean the solder powder, the component termination, and the substrate. So when it's not being expended cleaning powder, which was a big part of it, then it can be used to promote better wetting and wetting out to the pad, wetting to the component, and flow out to the pad.
Typical applications for this paste are going to be in the high reliability 5G market, that type of thing. Where else do you see it being useful?
Sure, 5G, copper pillar, flip chip, ultra low feature down to 90 micron. It's capable of printing an AR down to about 0.55 with a typical SMT AR being in the 0.66 range. Right. So that's using a 25 micron stencil. And so it's very flexible and very easy to use from a printability standpoint. Long stencil life at that features type as well.
Okay. And so is this paste available now in the US, or is this something that's going to be available in the future?
This material is released in SAC 305 currently. It's already used in our facilities overseas. It's definitely available in the U.S. as well. We've recently tested it with the high reliability Inalot alloy, and with great success there as well. But I can't speak to when that may be released.
Right. Okay. But as you say, it works with Inalot.
I'm sorry?
It works with Inalot, does it?
With Inalot, correct.
Yeah.
And that was with a Type 4.
Okay, excellent. Good. Okay, well, we've got a fairly good view of it. That's the Welco AP520 from Heraeus. And Jim, I want to thank you for coming in and telling us about it today.
Thank you very much for having me.